Hey guys, I am Ishan and welcome to Evolution of Airbus Part 3. We done already Part 1 and 2. I recommend you watching those before you watch this. So in 2009, Airbus launched the A400M. Since Airbus was running very low on military, the only military planes that Airbus had were some A300 or some A310 military planes, tankers. But Airbus made a proper one of the A400M. It was a modular version of the Lockheed C-130 Hercules. Technically, the C-130 Hercules has more sails because you need to give it more time for the A400 to receive the sails. So in 2013, Airbus launched the A350. This plane was originally made to compete against the 777, but since the 777X9 came, then the A350 is going downwards. But the A350 came in two forms, the A350-900 and the 1000. There is also the A350-900 extra wide body, also known as the XWB, and the A350-1000 XWB. The XWB had extra wider bodies and much better. The A350 also had a black mask covering its cockpit. So that's why it makes it one of the more recognizable planes. Then in 2013, Airbus launched the A220. This plane was one of the best planes ever and one of the most successful planes. It also had a black mask like the A350, but it's a much smaller plane. But it is mainly used to compete against the Embraer E195-E2 jet because it is a much smaller plane, a much shorter plane, but it's a wider body than the E195. You have to get a 3x2 seating, while the E195 has a 2x2 seating arrangement. But the A220 is also a massive winner in the pandemic series because it's very hard for airlines to get money, especially in order to buy a 737. But this plane is much cheaper and much more efficient. The A220 was originally the Bombardier CS series, which consisted of the CS100 and the CS300. And unfortunately, due to some events, it was given to Airbus as the A220, and the CS100 became the A220-100, and the CS300 became the A220-300. Airbus was also making success with the A320neo, released in 2014. Yes, this plane, Airbus launched the Neo as a much better version of their older plane, the A320. So Airbus, with the success of this plane, with zero crashes other than it hitting a fire truck, in 2015, instead of the A321neo, Airbus launched the A321LR. It also did have a black mask covering its cockpit, like the A220 and the A350. But what is the meaning of LR? LR stands for longer range because it could travel much further than the normal A320. Then Airbus made the A321neo, which is pretty much what you can expect. In 2017, Airbus launched the A390neo, which is a neo version of the A390. Then in 2018, Airbus launched the A330neo. We have already talked about this plane in the first part of this series, but something I forgot to say was these planes are one of the poor sellers from Airbus. The A330-800 is actually the lowest selling plane of Airbus, with less than 40 of these were made. In 2018, Airbus also made the A350ULR, which stands for ultra long range, so that way the A350 could fly much further than usual. In 2018, Airbus made the A330-700XL, also known as the Airbus Beluga XL. This plane was pretty much made to compete against the Boeing 747 Dreamlifter, and unlike the Beluga, that is usually based from the beluga whale, this one is based on a dolphin. Then, for last, Airbus made the A321 XLR, which ran for extra long range and could fly much further than the A321LR. But anyways, that's it for this series. Comment down below what you want me to make next.